Today we're going to go over a coin that's not that sexy. It has a very corporate feel to it. It's been around for years and is in the top 100, but most people still haven't even heard of it. But somehow, in the last couple months, this coin is the top performing or one of the top performing coins in the top 100. And that coin is Quant, QNT. Today we're going to do a deep dive into the project, learn more about it, and find out exactly what is causing the price rise. So don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, drop a comment down below, let me know what you think of the project. If you're in the quant community, comment down below, let me know if I missed anything. Without further ado, let's dive in. Quant, here's the symbol here. QNT is the ticker symbol. Here's the website, the future of finances today. It's a very sort of corporate, professional looking website, not really retail-esque. And then before we get into what is it, let's just look at the price action quickly to see where my excitement comes from. So they've been on exchanges since 2018. Here's the 3 to 4 year chart. Looks pretty much in line with the market, right? But then if we zoom in, it gets even better. Here's the 3-month chart, the last 3 months. Very good, $58 to $139. It's like 120, 130% price rise in the bear market in the last 3 months. It's way outperformed the market. And then if you go to the 1-month chart, it's even better. $89 to about $130. It's like a 50% price rise. And again, the market has gone down about 10 to 20% in that time. Just to show it side by side, Quant next to Bitcoin. We can see this here. So yeah, it's well performed the market, or this is the 90-day 3-month chart. Well performed the market, outperformed the market. Here it is going up. Bitcoin gone down about 20%. So Quant is on a tear despite the market conditions. So what's causing that? Well, let's first dive in and see what the project is exactly. So it's described, as I mentioned, Quant isn't sexy, it doesn't stream videos, it doesn't mint NFTs or subdued simians or explore a new metaverse. All it does is ensure a future where all blockchains and other distributed networks can work together in perfect harmony. It was launched in June 2018 with the goal of connecting blockchains and networks on a global scale without reducing the efficiency and interoperability of the network. The main aim of Quant is to bridge the gap that exists between different blockchains. And to do all this, it uses a distributed ledger technology called Overledger Network. That's what actually connects the different blockchains. And Overledger allows developers to build decentralized multi-chain apps. So Overledger, in other words, it's described as the world's first blockchain agnostic API gateway. API gateway meaning basically the gateway for new apps to come onto the blockchain here. Then, as mentioned, it allows developers to write smart contracts across a wide variety of chains, including those that don't support them, such as Bitcoin. It's the first project that can do this, the first piece of technology. And then to use Quant, the developer has to purchase a license to create anything on the platform. This requires tokens to be locked up for 12 months, and the cost of running the gateways and performing read-write operations in Overledger requires the use of Quant tokens. Clients for Quant include banks, asset managers, other financial institutions, enterprises, and tech partners and fintech developers who support them. So again, very sort of corporate-y, financy, has a very institutional feel to it. But to see why it's rising, let's get into the recent partnerships and developments. Always when I'm doing a blockchain coin, I don't look at their whole ecosystem. It's too big. I just look at the last 6 months or so of announcements, blockchains, to see what's been going on and what has been causing the increased attention. So recently, the blockchain announced support for XDC. That's a hybrid. It's a hybrid blockchain network. They have a coin right here, XDC, designed for enterprise use and updated connectivity with the Ethereum Ropsten test network. They also announced support for Polygon recently, and 5 coins that are on the Polygon mainnet, including Wrapped Ether, USD Coin, Tether USD, Wrapped Matic, and DAI stablecoin. Additionally, they introduced the beta phase of Overledge Tokenize, their premier API for deploying the next generation of interoperable tokens and digital assets onto the Ethereum, Polygon, and XDC mainnets. Ethereum mainnet because they are a USD20 token, and Polygon and XDC because, as mentioned, they just announced support for those too. So it looks like they're looking to sort of tokenize even more projects on those 3 networks in the future. They're also getting into the NFT game. They now provide users with the ability to create QRC 721 non-fungible tokens and deploy them onto the 3 blockchains mentioned. And they also announced support for connecting Overledger to something called Hyperledger Fabric, an enterprise-grade permission blockchain network. Now, Overledger users can interact with dedicated Hyperledger Fabric network in a sandbox environment. Now, honestly, I'm not really sure what that is, but on their Twitter page, that seemed to get rave reviews when it was announced a few months ago, so that appears to be a very, positive tech development. Now, if we get into the marketing, so a lot of times these sort of institutional field coins don't really have that great a marketing, or the marketing is just leaving out the retail crowd, even though they're a top 100 coin. Excuse me. And they have had some recent developments, positive developments in marketing. So here's April of 2022. That's about 6 months ago. They named a new CMO, and then the price rise started about 3 months ago. So it looks like this guy is the primary reason for their improved marketing, and he appears to be a good portion of the reason for the price rise. Additionally, they're very heavy on the conference circuit. They're getting out and about more. Their head of innovation recently spoke on a panel at the Global conference on big changes now happening across blockchain and side chains and the Ethereum merge. They also announced they'll be speaking at QuantCon 2022, and that's happening right about now. They're headed to another conference called CBOS. That's in Amsterdam in mid-October. I'm not sure if that's the BTC Amsterdam or a separate conference in Amsterdam, but regardless, that appears to be a big one. And then also on the Twitter, I always look at the Twitter pages to see, are they really resonating with the retail crowd? Because crypto Twitter is very retail trader-esque. And I started to see some pages here, some QNT specific fan pages. Before, a couple months ago, they definitely didn't have any of these, the way Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, all those coins have tons of them, and all the small altcoins. Now QNT does as well. So it looks like they're really gaining traction with the younger sort of retail fan base. Let's look at the team. So they're based in London mostly, so not the US. Some people think that. No, they're a London-based team. Not a young team, as you can imagine. Pros and cons there. I guess pros, it's very experienced. Again, a very sort of a professional-looking team here. I looking at these pictures, I would guess maybe they didn't come from a hardcore crypto background just because of their ages, and that appears to be the case. So the CEO, Gilbert, has experience as chief information security officers for a couple companies, a payment company and a health company. Also a director at PwC, so he's got like big company experience, corporate experience. Here's their chief operating officer, Lara. She comes from Deloitte. She was a director there. And then their CTO, Peter, he was director of IT for a .com company, senior developer for an energy company, CTO of maybe like a real estate company there. So he's got sort of varied, diverse sort of corporate experience there. And then here's the chief marketing officer, the new guy, Andrew Carrier. And then he came from, looks like, got some medium-sized company experience, and then Deutsche Bank. He was director, head of marketing for one of the divisions there. So not crypto experience, and then not even sort of techie experience. I guess a little bit of tech experience, but mostly sort of big four accounting and big corporate company experience. And again, the price action metrics. So again, I showed you the 1 month price chart. They've been on a tear lately, up 50% when the market's been down about 20%. Let's look at the metrics here. So they're ranked number 35 in market cap. So that's pretty big. Again, a lot of people haven't heard of this coin. They've been around for 4 years, in the top 50 for total market cap. It's good. It's finally getting people's attention. Market cap 1.7 million, fully diluted 2 million, as mentioned there, an ERC20 token. And here's a main benefit right here. This could explain part of the price rise. Circulating supply is 83%. So this means of all the tokens that are ever going to be created, 83% of them have been fully unlocked and are already trading on exchanges. That is a good thing, because if this number is low, that means a lot of coins are just locked up right now. So when they become unlocked, then they can hit exchanges and cashed out immediately, lowering the price. For this coin, 83% have already hit the exchanges, so most of the selling due to vesting periods unlocking has already been done. So again, it is an older project. If this project was in the first or second year, this number would be much lower. But the fact that they've been around 4 years, this does not surprise me, and this is a huge benefit. It just means there's not going to be too much natural downward selling pressure going on. And then if you look at the different wallets, pretty decentralized. The main team wallet here is, or the main reserve wallet here is 21%, and then the Next highest concentration wallet has about 2 to 3%, so very decentralized. That's good. Let's look at the fundraise. So they did a $15 million fundraise in 2018. That's not huge. This was early 2018. A lot of companies were doing big 30, 50, $100 million fundraisers. Now, only 15 million. If that was today, that would be a decent size, pretty good size fundraise. But back then, that was kind of small. But look at the returns here. 91 times multiple since the IPO price of 151. Again, ICO price was 151, and now the price is 138. So yeah, anyone who got in early on this coin and this $15 million public for sale fundraise is really making bank. And then the vesting schedule, I couldn't really find too much information on the specific vesting schedule, but obviously most of the coins have already become unlocked, so there isn't really too much information to look at. But here's it's a very sort of, their tokenomics was not too broad. It was very narrow, which is good. 68% of the tokens were in the $15 million fundraise, so that's a very high percentage right there. 9% are in the company's reserve. I believe these are some of the tokens, the only few tokens that have not been unlocked yet. 4.5% were given to the company's founders. That was a 12-month vesting schedule check, so those have already been unlocked. And again, that's pretty low. Usually teams, it's closer to 10%, 8, 10%, 4.5%. It's a low allocation to the teams. It just goes to show they're not sort of, not a big money grab or anything like that. And then 18% to advisors. That's pretty high. So it looks like they put a very high, strong emphasis on advisors. And I believe that those are also a 12-month vesting schedule from 2018. So those are all fully invested. So the only coins that haven't been invested, the remaining 17%, are the reserve, which the company will just use at their leisure whenever they would like. Now let's look at the exchanges here. So well, first let's look at the trading volume. So it is a large market cap coin, but just to see the plus 2%, minus 2% depth, very high. Again, this is the amount that you can slip into a trade at the market value and then not be affected by slippage. So you want this higher, meaning you don't get wrecked by slippage, and it is Binance. You can slip $300,000 at a time. That's about as good as it gets. So the volume is very high. It's not a thinly traded volume. That's not surprising. Now let's look at the exchanges. Most of the big ones: Binance, KuCoin, Coinbase, Gate, Gemini, Kraken, Bittrex, Crypto.com, Femex, Uniswap, MEXC, Bancor. So again, the relevant question is which exchanges is not on. So not on FTX. That's kind of surprising. You'd think, it's a very safe coin, obviously, very institutionally feel. So it's a little surprising. I think FTX is probably thinking about putting them on very soon. It's not on Bitfinex. It's not on Huobi. It's a very big Singapore mostly based exchange. And it's not on some of the other Asian exchanges, OKX, BitHum, and Upbit, that mostly cater to the Korean and Chinese market there. They're mostly Korean, I believe. So as this is pretty good here. It's not on the second biggest exchange in the world, FTX, and I definitely would have to assume FTX is thinking about it since there's been tons of trading volume in this coin in the last 3 months. So if they were announced to be listed on FTX, that would cause. And that's it. So obviously any project that's outperforming the bear market significantly, I'm a fan of. It looks like their strong price performance is due to a favorable vesting schedule, along with very strong behind-the-scenes tech developments going on. I think their Polygon and XDC coin incorporation into their ecosystem is definitely